trusted news source, ABC6 News at noon.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Doreen Scanlon. We begin with the crisis in Ukraine, and this morning, Russia launched an attack on the western city of Lviv for the first time. The airstrike comes as Russia's foreign minister warned that resupply missions for Ukraine's military are legitimate targets. And amid fears that China could supply military support to Russia, President Biden held a high-stakes call with Chinese President Xi today. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze has the latest.
For the first time since the war in Ukraine began, Russian forces striking the western city of Lviv near the Polish border. Ukraine's Air Force says Russian missiles fired from the Black Sea destroyed an aircraft repair facility near the airport, injuring at least one person. With Russia's advance on Ukraine stalled by fierce Ukrainian resistance, a senior U.S. official warns Moscow will increasingly resort to using long-range missile systems launched from within Russia. Russia's foreign minister saying today any foreign supplies to Ukraine containing military equipment are legitimate targets.
Any cargo moving into Ukrainian territory, which we would believe is carrying weapons, would be a fair game.
Amid fears China could supply military equipment to Russia, President Biden holding a high-stakes call this morning with Chinese President Xi. A senior U.S. official tells ABC News Russian President Putin has tried to make direct appeals to China as he becomes more isolated and prone to anger.
Vladimir Putin has launched an unconscionable war against Ukraine.
In Mariupol, the search for survivors continues at a theater being used as a shelter for children that was targeted by Russian bombs. At least 130 people have been rescued, while hundreds remain missing. Among those killed in the relentless attacks across Ukraine, 68-year-old American citizen James Whitney Hill. Secretary of State Antony Blinken warns Russia could be setting the stage for a chemical weapons attack.
We believe that Moscow may be setting the stage to use a chemical weapon and then falsely blame Ukraine.
The UN Security Council is meeting today discussing the possibility that Russia could use chemical or biological weapons in Ukraine. Elizabeth Schulze, ABC News, Washington.
And now to our weather. It is an absolutely beautiful day here in southern New England. We take a live look over Providence with our sky cam. Tim Studebaker is live in the Weather Center with your first forecast. Hopefully everyone gets.
I know, yeah, it is just fantastic out there. Hard to believe it's the second to last day of the winter season. Spring officially begins on Sunday morning, but it really feels like mid to late spring out there already. And temperatures will continue to warm from what we see right now. Temperatures at 67 in Providence, 66 right now in Taunton. The coast a little bit cooler, westerly at 58, Block Island 54. And those coastal locations should stay cooler with a sea breeze heading through the afternoon. But inland locations making a run for the low 70s today, especially far away from the coast. Winds 6 miles per hour in Providence, 3 in Newport, 8 miles per hour for westerly. Those winds will be coming in off the water shortly here. Here's one bit of good news. Compared to this morning when we had all the clouds and the fog reducing that visibility, right now visibility is just fine, except for way out in Provincetown on Cape Cod where it's still a half mile. The fog was a little stubborn for southeastern Massachusetts, but it has let up at this point. Clearing skies, developing sunshine, kind of already at that point, and we'll continue to warm up into the low 70s, at least away from the coast, heading into the afternoon. The rest of your Storm Tracker 7-day forecast coming up, Doreen.
Tim, thank you. And the Rhode Island hockey community honoring Matt Dennison today as his family lays him to rest. After his funeral this morning, local hockey players are holding a stick salute at West Warwick High School. Dennison, just 17 years old, was killed in a crash in Exeter last month, and police have charged a Newport firefighter with DUI in connection to his death. His teammate, Kevin McDonald, survived but was badly hurt. Dennison's body will be buried at East Greenwich Cemetery. And new at noon today, due in court, a man North Providence police say robbed a speedway while threatening the clerk with a knife on Wednesday. Police say Milton Thomas went to the speedway location on Mineral Spring Ave around 11 Wednesday night and demanded money. Thomas made off with a little more than $200. Video surveillance footage helped police identify him and charge him with first-degree robbery. Apologizing but not resigning. Charlestown Emergency Management Director Kevin Gallup says he owes the people of Providence an apology for comments he made at a town council meeting this week. Gallup suggested some people in Charlestown wouldn't appreciate it if Providence residents showed up to food trucks in town. Gallup says going forward, he will work to make amends and carry the lesson with him. And now to our coverage of our schools. North Kingstown Assistant Superintendent Denise Mancieri is leaving her post immediately. She was to leave the school district at the end of the year, but says in a letter that she is retiring now. This comes after the Phase 2 district investigation into Aaron Thomas's conduct as head basketball coach was released. Thomas is accused of conducting naked fat checks on basketball players, which he denies. In the report, attorney Matthew Oliverio concludes that Mancieri, as NK High principal back in 2017, should have confronted Thomas about his conduct. Mancieri did not address the Oliverio report in her farewell letter to district staff. And it is the first of many goodbyes at the old Attleboro High School. The school set to hold an open house this weekend, giving the community a final opportunity to see parts of the building that will soon be demolished. ABC6 News reporter Laura Puglisi spoke to the principal about the progress and what the next steps will be.
Pieces of the old school will soon be knocked down to fit in pieces of the new school. The principal tells me they are on time and on budget and expected to officially open their doors this summer.
I am excited for our community to be able to come in one more time, be able to reminisce, walk the halls, maybe see the locker and, or their homeroom and things like that.
One last chance to say goodbye to this section of Attleboro High School. In the coming days, several parts of the campus will be knocked down to make room for the new school.
There has to be a partial demolition of this campus because we need room for a temporary bus loop and for temporary parking.
Attleboro High School principal Bill Rooney walked our ABC6 crews through the hallways that will soon turn into rubble. The former pool, the small gym, locker room, and weight room will all be gone come April. This as construction continues on the new $260 million campus, replacing the old one built in the 60s.
There's an innovation lab where we're going to have 3D printers and CNC machines, a new technology called Z-Space that it involves holograms. It's going to be perfect.
Principal Rooney calls the new building a dream come true, with big spaces, a massive cafeteria, and advanced technology blowing the old school out of the water. But for him, it is bittersweet. He'll be leaving his post as principal after accepting a new position as superintendent of Dighton Rehoboth. The search for his replacement is underway and will take on a massive responsibility.
Transition to a high school this big is difficult enough. If you're also doing that in the midst of a move to a new building, it's very, very challenging. So I'm excited about helping the new person transition. But it is bittersweet for me.
Again, the open house will be held tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. It is open to anyone in the public. Reporting in Attleboro, I'm Laura Puglisi, ABC6 News.
Hey, Laura, thank you. And now to an ABC6 News update. Warwick police sharing good news this morning. They found a missing teen. 14-year-old Aaliyah Sharon Abbott went missing on Monday. Police posted on Facebook that she was found today and thanked the community for their assistance. The collapsed portion of Newport's Cliff Walk could be closed now through the summer. City officials tell ABC6 that there isn't a timetable for it to reopen as they look to secure funding and get a repair plan in place. A section of the walk fell into the ocean earlier this month, so there are detours in place, although the city says the majority of the 3.5-mile walk is open. And we continue to follow the PC Friars March Madness run. With their win yesterday, the Friars move on to the next round. PC will face 12 seed and A10 champion Richmond, who upset Iowa Thursday, with a spot in the Sweet 16 on the line. That game tips off tomorrow at 6:10 p.m. Bryant was knocked out of the tournament earlier this week, so PC is Rhode Island's last hope to keep rolling toward the Final Four. ABC6 Sports Director Nick Coit is traveling with the Friars. He'll have reports for us all weekend. Still to come here on ABC6 News at noon, we're going to hear from Brown University's Dr. Ashish Jha for the first time since he was appointed to a key role at the White House. And later, prepping to celebrate St. Patrick's Day this weekend. We'll share details on parades in both Providence and Boston. Now to our coverage of the coronavirus. And coronavirus vaccination is winding down at the Bay Street Clinic in Taunton. Vaccine appointments are still available Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 8 to 5:30 during March. But next month, that moves to just Tuesdays, 10 to 5:45 p.m. The clinic will close at the end of April. It offers all 3 vaccine types. And we're hearing from Dr. Ashish Jha today for the first time since he accepted a new White House job. Jha was appointed to the COVID-19 response coordinator, replacing the departing Jeff Zients. Dr. Jha will start on April 5th. He will work with Zients on the transition until then. As part of his role, Jha will prepare the U.S. to fight new variants if they come to our shores.
We're not done with this pandemic. As much as we all wish, we are not. And so the president has laid out a plan for how we're going to prepare for future surges, future variants, and what we need to do. And, you know, I'm part of the team that's going to help implement that plan because whatever the pandemic throws at us, George, we have got to be ready for it, and we've got to get the American people through that time period.
Dr. Jha says he believes high-risk people will need a second booster, but he wants to see Pfizer's data first. Next on ABC6 News at noon, preparing for the parades, what you need to know about St. Patrick's Day celebrations in Boston and Providence this weekend. And how much a Nantucket woman is suing the Steamship Authority for after a 2019 boat accident. Well, they will be wearing the green in Providence tomorrow. It is the annual St. Patrick's Day Parade. It's been canceled for the last 2 years because of COVID. The parade steps off at noon at Smith Street and Hilltop Avenue. It ends at the Rhode Island State House, and the parade is rain or shine. And Boston's annual parade in Southie will be Sunday. It hasn't been held since 2019 either. It'll start at 1 p.m. at the Broadway MBTA station and work its way through the streets of South Boston. Many of the area streets will be closed, so if you plan to attend, you're strongly encouraged to use public transportation.
And now, your ABC6 Storm Tracker weather with meteorologist Tim Studebaker.
Kind of too bad the parades aren't today because it is just a fantastic day out there. Temperatures reaching the low 70s away from the coast as we head toward the afternoon, and plenty of sunshine too. Tomorrow, it's not going to be nearly as nice, so definitely soak this up while you can. Providence, of course, looking beautiful right now with all that sunshine. A very warm day out ahead of us for the rest of this afternoon. Again, temperatures away from the coast should reach the low 70s, but closer to the water, of course, we'll have that sea breeze. Pretty typical once we get into spring-like patterns, and we are in a spring-like pattern for today. The winds coming in off the water will keep those coastal locations quite a bit cooler. We have a split weekend out ahead of us. Rain off and on Saturday, but improving conditions by the time we round out the weekend on your Sunday. Temperatures already in the upper 60s away from the coast right now. 68 at TF Green and Warwick, 68 in Smithfield, 67 in Attleboro, and 66 in Taunton. Even a couple of coastal locations have warmed up into the mid-60s, but the sea breeze should kick in pretty soon here, and that'll knock you back into the upper 50s and low 60s while the rest of us keep warming up. Still the upper 50s in Westerly, probably a little bit of a sea breeze happening there. And of course, Block Island, surrounded by the colder water, you're only in the mid-50s right now. Winds coming in off the water a little bit in Westerly, not directly off the water yet, but kind of a southwest direction there. Still off the land in Newport, so that's why you're a little bit on the warmer side. 6-mile-per-hour winds in Providence. But again, a sea breeze along the coast should start to kick in here and cool down those coastal locations, even those that have warmed up into the 60s already. Visibility is a lot better now than it was this morning. If you had a morning commute to make today, you likely ran into some locally dense fog, especially in southeastern Massachusetts and the East Bay, but all the numbers have improved. Really the only fog that's still out there, the tip of Cape Cod, half-mile visibility in Provincetown at the moment. The rest of us are just seeing sunshine, and the sunshine will continue through the rest of this afternoon. Our next system is down across the Midwest, stretching into the south right now, bringing some severe weather to the southeastern U.S. No real severe weather in our forecast, but that storm system will eventually make its way toward our area. That means increasing clouds and patchy fog for tonight. Then by tomorrow, on and off rain throughout the day, eventually coming to an end by tomorrow night. We'll start to clear things out a little bit on Sunday, but I think still mostly cloudy skies. So sunny and warm for today. The low 70s away from the coast will not happen at the coast. You're going to be in the upper 50s and low 60s for most of the afternoon, thanks to the sea breeze at those coastal locations. But inland spots, low 70s. Tonight, some increasing cloud cover, some patchy fog, temperatures into the mid-40s. And on your Storm Tracker 7-day forecast, again, there's that on and off rain for Saturday. Not a great day for the outdoor activities, including the parade in Providence. But it is what it is. We'll have to deal with it. Spring begins on Sunday morning. We do have some improvements in store for Sunday. I think still mostly cloudy skies for most of the day. Temperatures near 60, but at least it won't be raining quite as much as Saturday. Sunny and mild for Monday into Tuesday. Wednesday, increasing clouds, a chance of showers late, and that chance of showers carries over into Thursday of next week. Doreen.
All right, Tim, thank you. Well, a Nantucket woman is suing the Steamship Authority over a boat crash in 2019. The Cape Cod Times reports that Jessica Hicks is seeking $323,000. The MV Eagle collided with a concrete barrier on a March 2019 trip. Hicks was on board and says she wasn't able to work after the crash, losing function in her right hand. Up next here on the news at noon, the play of the night, how a cheerleader became the storyline of the NCAA tournament game for rescuing the game ball. An unlikely game hero in one March Madness matchup, a cheerleader saving the day. ABC's Will Gans has more.
March Madness coming to a standstill in the second half of the Indiana-St. Mary's game when this happened.
The ball is stuck. We've got an issue now. Who's getting that?
13 feet off the ground, and no combination of mop, referee, and chair was able to get it down until two unlikely heroes stepped up.
Yes, get the cheerleader up. Get her up there. This is how you do it. Give her the mop. No, she's got it. Oh, what a play. The cheerleader saves the day.
That's Cassidy Cerny, sophomore cheerleader at Indiana University.
I jokingly was like, put me up, like I can go get it.
A joke until it wasn't, when she was asked to team up with senior Nathan Paris.
Our captain, Ethan, looked over at all of us and we were like, I think we need to put somebody up in a stunt.
Only one of them was nervous when the national spotlight fell on them.
I'm glad she wasn't nervous because I was. I was like, oh, I really need to catch this one right here.
After the game-saving play,
this place is on its feet. The cheerleader is the hero in Portland.
In the stadium and online. Highlight of the game. Best moment of March Madness so far.
The internet is losing its mind right now over this moment. What is that like for you guys?
Scary.
It's scary. It's scary, but it's exciting. And, you know, just getting one crazy reaction makes it all worth it.
And even though the Hoosiers lost,
just being able to bring that exposure to my team was really fun. Once in a lifetime.
Yeah.
Cassidy told me her mom cried when she found out that her daughter made the so-called play of the game. And when I asked Cassidy and Nathan what they were going to do to celebrate, they said they were ready to eat. Those athletes working up an appetite. Will Gans, ABC News, New York.
Certainly entertaining. All right, next at noon, a psychologist on why you may find yourself rooting for the underdog this weekend at the NCAA tournament. And we'll check back in with Tim. He's got another look at that afternoon forecast when we come back. Well, finally this afternoon, with March Madness upon us, you may find yourself inexplicably rooting for the underdog. A sports psychologist says there is a science behind it. First, we can relate to the team, and even if we're not aware of it. There's always an expectation that the best teams will win, so when that doesn't happen, we can find joy in the unexpected. It's sort of our brain's way of wanting things to be fair. And finally, it's just more exciting that way. And I'm thinking of the St. Peter's game. I couldn't turn it off last night. Yeah. The underdogs, right? There's just something about that Cinderella team.
Who doesn't love a good upset?
Exactly.
It's amazing to watch for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Also amazing, our forecast. Look at that segue. Plenty of sunshine out there. Temperatures into the upper 60s, low 70s away from the coast. We are cooler at the coast, about upper 50s, low 60s for most of the afternoon, thanks to a sea breeze. Heading into your Saturday, unfortunately, not nearly as amazing. On and off rain throughout the day. Temperatures in the upper 50s. We'll recover a bit on Sunday. Still mostly cloudy, but it is an improvement over what we see on Saturday. Mild temperatures as well. Sunny and mild Monday into Tuesday. Increasing clouds on Wednesday. Showers move in late Wednesday and continue into your Thursday.
Oh man, got to enjoy today while we can.
Get outside.
All right, thanks, Tim. And thank you for joining us for the news at noon. The news continues first at 4. Have a great day, everybody.